Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
Getting Mishra's bubbled. Got some Mishra's baubles of our own in our hand. BK Kids Club with the 17 months. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. So I'm going to look at my top card with this bauble, since it'll inform what I do with the rest of my hand. Shocking this Watery Graves after seeing that Ragavan on top. I'm just trying to get the tournament integrity in order with this challenge to hand hiders. So just gonna keep it up this tournament and see how it goes. But we did hand hider less last time. We did get second place, but there were some incidents still. So just a precaution. Yeah, and a good precaution to use, I think. I think I want to force this. Like, get rid of an Emry, which would have been a pretty good draw, I guess. And the reason I forced there is because I wanted my opponent to tap out of counterspell so I could try to jam the ring. You also may notice that I saw the Ragavan on top, and I shocked in Watery Grave to bluff that I had Fatal Push, so that my opponent wouldn't play Ragavan that turn. And that's just like not a line that I would have been very happy to make, very comfortable to make if my hand wasn't hidden. You know what I mean? Like, look at their top card, see it's Ragavan, shock, and Watery Grave, so they don't play it on turn 2. That was like huge for us here. I'm just gonna Subtlety here. So down to 13. Take 2 damage to avoid 2 damage. Well, also it was the tempo of it more than the damage. Sorry for using the forbidden word. Okay, so 4 cards in their hand still. Make another one of these. I guess I should draw first, actually. Shock down to 7, take 3, then I'm not dead to a bolt still. Four cards in their hand. Can't double bolt this turn, even if they had it. Draw 4 cards. It's a lot of cards. Yeah, this is game 1. Fortunately, I missed on a Bauble or a Nihil Spellbomb. Sorry, or a Mox Amber, so I'm not able to grow the construct anymore. But now it seems like the construct's going to get to connect. I guess I could have cast this first. Okay, still not dead to 1 bolt. Pass it back. Mr. Win, 22 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, it's been really cool to just have a deck that's like, I'm playing 4 Mox Ambers, and I'm just like drawing millions of cards and have a lot of interaction. Good formula. Okay, so up a game against Murktide. A little bit scared of Blood Moon, but best way I can play around that is, I guess, just gonna be Force of Negation. I suppose I could maybe still keep in the Haywire Mite for like Pithing Needle. Probably not going to. I think we'll just play the second Nihil Spellbomb. Wondering still best card of Modern. It's kind of it's been a little odd to me how many people online are complaining about the One Ring right now. Maybe I just don't see it, but I'm just like not really viewing the card as being particularly problematic. There's just like so much counterplay to it, but it is a good card. Like one thing is like Necro feels like so much better than the Ring at the at the moment. How good is Emry in Modern? This has been the best Emry deck I've played in years. And it's like largely because like you just get to play like Mox Amber and like your deck that like loves to play 4 Mox Amber, 4 Bauble, and Emry, and you also get to play the Ring, so Emry just kind of happens to be amazing in this deck, but in general she's not a great. What do you think the best Necro version is? I kind of like no Ring and playing Profane Tutors just to find Necro more often. But you could also play Ring over a Profane Tutor. The one Ring complaint is price availability complaint. No one complains about $20 Ren and 6. Yeah, I guess so. I hope that they print the Ring more often. How many people queued for the challenge? 92. How does the deck regret this, guys? Well, we have 4 main deck Force of Negation. We also have the One Ring. You know. It seems like a plan to me. Spatu, 3rd in a month. Thank you, welcome back. No boots for Emry. The thing is, it's just like, you don't want to play too many Urza Saga targets. And we already have, I think you need to play the Haywire Mite, you need to play the Nihil Spellbomb, you need to play the Shadowspear. So it doesn't like really leave a lot of room for shenanigans. I'm going to mulligan my 7 here. Have you felt soft to bigger creatures like Murktide and Titan, or do you always have subtlety for them? I don't always have subtlety for them. Resolve Murktide could be a problem. Resolve Titan could be a problem. But we do have subtleties in the deck. It's pretty good putting Necro and Ring in the same deck. I don't know if that's true. I mean, it's not bad. It's obviously not bad, but the thing is, Necro in the Necro decks is much better than the One Ring. And so, just playing 4 Profane Tutor, 4 Necro, like I don't know that you need a lot more sources of advantage. I'm gonna block with this attack if they attack. When it's, I guess, maybe trying to set up for uh, a block somehow, like with Consider. Shield of Necro seems really hot. It is pretty hot, yeah. So that is their plan. So, and they can get Delirium for sure by cracking their fetch. Let's crack this now. Pass back. The ring was also the most played card of the PT. And this isn't like, and like Jeskai was super popular and it didn't do very well, and it was like that was like the main ring deck almost. If it seemed, felt, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a super good argument. Nadu is a ring deck. Yeah, and a lot of the Nadu pilots think that like the ring shouldn't be in the Nadu deck. Like the ring is like this. In my opinion, I would rather play Teferi in that slot. I don't actually believe that the ring is optimal in Nadu. It's like a fine choice for your flex spot, but they put a card on top. I think I'm gonna actually Force of Negation here. But this is a pretty common thing, is that people are a little bit dubious on the ring even being in that deck. Like, you know, a lot of people are down to like 2 copies, and it's fine. It's like a fine flex spot in that deck. But at the very least, a lot of people are saying let's ban the One Ring because it was the most played card at the modern PT. But it just really isn't seeming like a problemo to me. Are we just gonna have the One Ring discourse every single modern pro tour for the rest of the time? I don't know. Maybe it's up to y'all, I guess. To dress down. Yeah, the Friday challenge has been really fun. We'll let that. They've started doing them. I have the same problem with all the unique cards in Universe Beyond that feature licensed name characters. They're effectively on the reserve list. Maybe, I mean, you can print. They do this thing sometimes with Secret Lairs or Universe Beyond where they print like a in Magic Universe version of the card. I don't really see why they can't just do that with the ring. Channeler so good. My hand is not so good. Keep a card on top. I kind of just have to use this Force of Negation here, probably. Obviously not really liking it. We're in pretty bad shape. Kind of cooked here. Okay, to game 3 we go. Would in Universe principally play it? No. No. It's I'm trying to think of an example. It's more common in Legacy. Do you at least agree after Naughty gets the axe, the One Ring will be the best card of Modern? No, I don't agree. I think like I think that there are several cards I would list as a better card than the One Ring, like Urza Saga, uh, Flage, like the entire Boros deck almost. I feel like Awesome Pride, Guide of Souls, Ajani, Flage, Ramped Raptor are looking like this whole shell is pretty crazy impactful. Grief, something I put up there. Um, yeah, I would not say it's the best card in Modern. Post Nadu ban. Amulet of Vigor. I already said Urza Saga, right? I think so. Counterspell is probably a more important Modern card too. Necrodominance is better than the One Ring. The Copium from me. Oh, you just disagree, so and you can't support your argument, so it's Copium, L-Take, I guess. I don't. I play a lot of Modern every day, and this is how I feel about the power level of cards. Why is the Necro this deck then? Well, I know you're not seriously asking, but casting cost and artifact synergies. I'm messing with you. I see. I it's just yeah. The other day, I just gave like this really. Someone was like, "Hey, Spike, I really like Jeskai Control, and I want to buy it, but I'm worried that the skill ceiling will be too high." And I always give the advice: don't worry about the skill ceiling. You're gonna make mistakes. Play the deck you want to play. And someone in chat was very upset. I said I recommended buying the Jeskai Control deck. They were very upset, and they like L take and set me off. I guess. Wondering is a standalone card that you can basically fit into every deck. Yeah, I understand that it's colorless. There are many decks that are not interested in playing the One Ring that are good and competitive and viable and are still also mid-rangey control strategies even. But I know the Ring it goes with a lot of decks. It is colorless. It is one of the best card advantage engines in Modern. The Ring is good. Maybe I'll focus on a game every once in a while too. Okay, I'll take my 2-for-1 there. I want to play Vintage Dredge. I've never played a game. Should I buy Port Bazaar Baghdad? Yeah, you should. I know. I tend to think too, like the whole like get into the format. Like people are worried about the cost, but it's like people. I see this so often. People buy the budget deck. They don't like the budget deck. The budget deck loses a lot. It's low card quality. It's not what they wanted to play, and then they just buy the new deck anyways. And then they're like, well, I spent all this freaking money on the all this money on this budget deck, and now I just have to spend money on the deck I wanted to play in the first place, anyways. Still Might in the deck? No, but it's also like you can't really use Might to deal with Blood Moon. But I have the Swamp. Should help some. I'm also gonna draw 4 more cards here. Why no Basim into Tamiyo? I have Mox Amber in my hand. I will not have issues. Um, Triggering Basim in the spot. They got 2 cards in their hand. Okay, I guess they don't really care about the Blood Moon anymore, which I'm happy about. I do have the Force of Negation in my hand for it, though. What is Murktide? Oh, I forgot about the Murktide. I mean, obviously there it is, right? I'm gonna do a lot of stuff here. Okay, I was making sure I wasn't gonna deck myself if I went for Emry here. Looks like we'll be okay. Good to know about that one. Postboard, the 45. Thank you, welcome back. Okay. Wanna know? Shame Soulholder never made much of an impact with all the wing spells currently modern. So sad. I got second place in 2 challenges in a row with 4 Soulholders in my deck back in the day. But I also had a Rose in my deck. Oh, are my headphones not plugged in? Graveyards and a Johnny. That's to 1 Witch Enchanter for Gorios. It's pretty tough with all the Dimir 2 drops, you know what I mean? Basim! Cannot be blocked. With the grief on the bottom. Alright, Basim down. Okay, taps out, 3 cards in their hand. I don't have a Fatal Push in my hand yet, which doesn't feel like very critical info to give out since I'll use it if I draw it. Okay, well, let's pause for a bit here in my upkeep. Not the best. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. We've already tried Satora and Basim in the same deck. There may be something there, but my first draft was not very good. Discard a Solitude and a Flage. Bowmasters. 3 mystery cards. Was hoping to get the Subtlety the Bowmaster. I think I've got to Subtlety this, unfortunately for me. They put it on top, but I guess they'll shuffle it away. Yeah, so Toro plus the new bird does seem good together. That's probably something we should try. So I'm down to 6, then going down to 4. The times in consulting you said don't change this because card looks great already? Yeah, several times. If I could think of any super specific examples, but yeah. There's a lot of people at Wizards that know what they're doing. Well, here we get to go enact our game plan, I guess. Game plan failed. How many times are cards a dumpster fire? Very rarely was a card just completely unsalvageable. Get that. It's my ring trigger. Down a game against Mardu. I'm going to bring in these Toxic Deluges. Second Nihil Spellbomb in. I think Haywire Mite out. Might play more than 0 Force of Negations. See if you can find a list. 3 Grieve. Oh, sorry. Okay, for 3 Solitude. Thought it was 3/3. Only 3 Johnny. Obviously, the list is probably a little different. I guess this looks pretty good. Let's do this. Our opponent's also still sideboarding. Does any opponent ever see the Minamo Basim trick? Unfortunately, our opponent did. Too bad they had that grief. Like, if we were just able to subtlety their Bowmaster on turn 2, this game would have been just so over. Okay, on the play. Game 2 against Mardu. Have to mulligan my 7. 2 Urza Sagas are too many. Keeping our 6. It's kind of weird. So we have the second mana source, if not actually the second land. I'd see the land on top from the Bauble. I wouldn't have fetched, but we didn't, so we fetched. That attack signifies Orcish Bowmaster. But maybe they don't have it if they're playing a Johnny. Love to draw an Urza Saga. What's better, Tamiyo or Emry? I mean, they're pretty different cards. Another 13 life points. Looking over 2 Fatal Pushes here is maybe a little scary against this Harsh Mentor. Or sorry, used one, milled one. Interesting pause. Maybe they have a Fatal Push. King, think we Twitch Prime. How was value in Reband? I usually set the card with combo decks for kind of wins if you untap. It's been, I think, better than it in combo decks. I think, like, you know, a card that like, yeah, I know you have some like retraction helix combo stuff, but it's good source of card advantage with all the cheap interaction. Kind of simply put, I guess. Okay, they put it on top. And they didn't fetch first, which is also a little surprising. Move the Tamiyo back to block here. My left total is in jeopardy a little bit. Does it work with ring? What does what work with ring? Wait, they shuffled away that mentor. Can Emry cast the ring? Emry can cast the ring, yeah. Emry can loop the ring. Anybody to flip Tamiyo? I could not have flipped Tamiyo this turn. That'd be $5 a month for the rest of your life. Sure wish my opponent had kept this Harsh Mentor instead of griefing me this turn. I was kind of setting up for a nice Toxic Deluge. Unfortunately, didn't have another blue card to Subtlety this grief. Big bummer. Yeah, I was really excited for this Deluge. This now to play around another scam card. Tamiyo can stem some of the bleeding here. We've got a Surveil land. They just don't attack Tamiyo. I mean, even if they do, Tamiyo survives without any help from their hand. Flip Tamiyo's really good. Like the Planeswalker side. A lot of people were kind of dubious about the power level of it. Just like, it's gaining 7 life here. It seems they don't have any other play, which I'm happy enough with. Obviously great they had nothing to do last turn, but kind of just doing good. I guess I should actually not block a cat, though, because of the whole flip it Johnny situation. Just lose the Tamiyo. Solitude, good card to know about, I guess. We draw second ring, we can start looping rings with Emry, maybe. Oh, you know, if they Solitude the Emry, it's a little bit harder. I'm a hater. I think Tamiyo sucks at a Flame of Ignore. You think Tamiyo sucks in this deck? So I could Subtlety the Solitude, but I think I'm just not going to, because I have another my blue card to pitch is an Emry, so I'll just like let this happen. Oh, I also have another ring. I guess I'm giving away the plot a little bit, but I want to be able to play second ring and just start looping the ring with the Emrys, and then eventually make enough Saga tokens to overpower this. Seemed like a good plan. So they got no cards in their hand. Or a loop, we're casting a ring every turn, making a Saga token every turn. Feeling pretty good. They've drawn a spell. I don't have a blue card for Subtlety. I think I will Subtlety this if I draw a blue card. Okay, I did draw a blue card. Yeah, it is kind of funny I'm defending ring so much when this is like the best ring deck I've built in a long time. It has been so nice. I can either play Basim or I can play. I guess I can do both actually. Saga. Yeah, because I drew another ring for turn, so I'm able to, I think, make a Saga token, cast a Basim, and cast a ring, because I can also cast another Mox Amber. Cast this. Could have done this a little differently, I guess. Yeah, I could have done it in a way that I could make the Saga token end of turn. It's a little bit worse against the Sweeper, I guess. Drew a land for turn. They have another Surveillant. I guess their yard is empty, so they can't like Surveillant to Flage. Okay, so ping down to 8. Okay, they pack it in. We're going to game 3. We're on the draw for game 3. Like my sideboard plan. Yeah, they bottomed the Soaring. Ring loop is very fun, yeah. This deck is kind of indicative of all the things people hate about the ring. Deck's been very good. Did not think we were going to win that game. Stuff went to stabilize. Eddie K, if you've seen this yet. Magic Online status. Decklist update. The top 32 decks of scheduled events in a selection of 5 leagues will be displayed going forward, returning next week. Full info. Thank you for your patience during this extended outage. A review of deck selection from Ninja.com we showed we're displaying more card data than was desired. We are returning the page to its previous functionality, top 32 of scheduled events, and selection of 5 lists displayed going forward. Data from prelims will be excluded while we continue to develop these pages. The decklist page will return week of July 8th. Interesting that they're excluding prelims. Yeah, the more data than desired, I think, is maybe a hint. Potentially might be reading too much into it, a hint that Wizards was not happy with the change Daybreak made. That would be my guess. I played against Boros and left in 1 needle for Amulet. Does that seem correct? He was fine. If not, definitely correct. How am I down on clock? Got plenty of time for game 3. Security issues, new API. That could be it too. Alright. Let's go. Love to get off to a nice 2-0 start here. Wizards wants you to use the data to inform. Wants to use the data to 4 bans. You want to see the data. I mean, it's kind of an interesting conversation, like how much data should be publicly available. There is like a little bit of concern for formats just being solved if you see all the numbers, and formats are a lot less interesting if they're solved. I'm not really super on any side, to be honest. But I do think it can be an interesting combo. I think I have to subtlety this with my hand. Is persisting trove cause to do him any good? It's okay. It's not like a particularly powerful thing to do. Did you put the Ajani on top? Yeah, but some people really like the idea of like data being very public, and some people don't, and I don't really have a super strong opinion about it. Okay, they pitched Wear Tear. I guess that's fine. The chances modern is solved extremely low. Remember that Death Shadow and Aim Titan really go for years. Quincy Former, yeah. I agree. It's slow. Alright, so I reveal my hand of Ring Minamo. And I think it's good when formats are not solved, so... Okay, take another 2 for 1 here. Okay, got reward. I was a little bit dubious about playing Saga, because I was going to play the Ring next turn. But them having exactly, like, discard spell plus removal spell made me want to play the Saga, and it looks like we got pretty rewarded for this. They have no cards in hand, 2 mana. We have a Saga and a top deck and a Nihil Spellbomb, so... I'm feeling pretty good about our spot. Although, only 1 ring left in the deck. They drew a land for turn. They should not surveil right now. This is kind of a punt, because like if they put a Flage in the yard, I know I need to Nihil Spellbomb instead of equipping the Shadowspear. And that's exactly what happens. Have you already worked on this with Arbaz? We played Arbaz earlier today in like this fun Boros Legends deck that wasn't very good. Playing it in a Breach deck seems like a good place to try. So we'll work on it at some point. Yeah, if they just like crack that fetch in a turn and draw a land, it's like just so bad for me. I mean, I can still just crack the Spellbomb, I guess. Why do it in damage step? To save time, and so the stream is more interesting for you to watch. Is the entire reason. Let's get him for 6 here. Imagine my surprise playing a stream on full screen. That's funny. I'm imagining. I need to do it before they can play a land. I need to do it before they can play a land and escape Flage. So damage step is the first time to do it to save you time. I missed the damage this way. No, I did it after. In the damage step, damage is already dealt. All right, GG. Okay, so off to a nice 2-0 start in the challenge. We'd love to make another deep run. Last time we played a challenge, we got 2nd place. And then let's go ahead and get into that into a league with the quick build. Yeah, opponents thinking, oh yeah, Bowmasters wasn't, bad play, but I don't know if that was concession worthy. Put a Graveyards of Bowmasters. Likely means they just have another one, I guess. Yeah, definitely crushing the game, but it's just important to not double queue and focus on the challenge match. So I want to use both of my baubles this turn because of Bowmasters. Okay, Innkeeper go. We'll follow that with a Saga go. 6 cards in our opponent's hand, 7 in mine. So it doesn't look like they have a third land, or at least not a third untapped land. So I imagine we see this go to the bottom. Seems like maybe the Bowmasters was graveyarded because they needed lands. Yeah, Ingress does go to the bottom in this spot. A lot of good top decks for me. If I brick, though, we still have the ability to make a Saga token. We go ahead and cast this Mox Amber now so that my opponent can't Bowmaster kill my Saga token. Innkeeper means not Yogg. It's maybe more likely to be the Soul Trader combo, but I think our opponent probably has Yawgmoth in their deck. This is not an unreasonable card to play in Yogg. A lot of interesting draws for me here. I think I have to get a Bauble here. Still locked 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Considered Haywire Miting their treasure token for a second. Just kind of flooded. Got a surveillance of some action. Gonna speculatively graveyard that. Looking for something kind of specific too. Okay, I did find it. Actually, gonna let that resolve. Bolt the Bird, 13 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Just baubles in the yard for Emry at the moment. Bolt the Bird, 13 months. Thank you. Welcome back. What are they going to quarter calling for? That thing is... Love that for us. Okay. I think I am only sitting in with one construct now. The Innkeeper can, or the Apprentice can kind of get a little bit out of control. So I don't want them to just have a free big attack without losing anything. Also not sure if I'm cracking this Bauble. Just like making the constructs even bigger could be just pretty good. Here comes the Court of Calling, though. I'm actually going to crack the Bauble. Well, down 38 months. Thank you, welcome back. Shaking with the gifted sub. Hope you're doing well too. They have one card left in their hand. It's not a second Court of Calling, is it? Seems like they're fetching so they don't have to shuffle away the Yogg, right? They do put it on top, unsurprisingly. They take 5, go down to 10. Cool game so far. Print is a target. Are we dead? Not yet. Return from whence he came. Yawgmoth, Grand Position. No, protection for Marionette Apprentice is still going to deal us damage through the ring protection. Ring doesn't target and it doesn't cause damage. It's loss of life. The games have been really interesting so far. Opponent's kind of chomping up the clock a little much for game 1. Already used 3 of my 4 subtleties. Need them to not find another chord, I think. So they sack the goose for a green, or they sack the food for a green with the goose. This is a cool game. Basim. Basim is this new 2-mana Dimir creature, blue and a black. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you draw a card, and it becomes unblockable to end of turn. And then that triggers once a turn, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you put a +1 counter on it. Card's been awesome. Okay, goodbye, Gilded Goose. They have 3 cards in their hand now. They made a green instead of a black, so they can't proliferate. Yogg goes back to the hand, too. They play a Besiju instead of using it. And then they cast a Birthing Ritual. Green floating still. Does not use the green. Okay, this has gone okay. They can't put another Yogg into play right now, but they can make it gain some life if they sack the Apprentice. They sack an Innkeeper instead, and they get another Apprentice, which is pretty deadly here. I can get a Shadowspear to gain some life, though. Punch through some damage. Might need to find a Fatal Push to have a chance. Or, you know, the 3rd, 4th Subtlety, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 in response to this trigger, so I have more info on what to do with my turn. Guess at the moment I'm locked in to make another Saga token. Pretty locked into Shadowspear. Yeah, not a lot to do after this. I guess I do still Basim, actually. They endurance me. So the hand is just a Yawgmoth to guess at this point. Well, fate's kind of in their hands here. I get to go up to 11. And I imagine they have to do they are at least going to chump block the 4/4. So I'm going to go down to 3, and then I'm sorry, I have a 9. So my opponent has to deal 7 damage here. Doesn't seem that easy to do. Maybe it's going to be okay. Their hand is only a Yawg. That endurance was really critical. The 1 extra life would have mattered. Oh, they're just going to Birthing Ritual first. So Birthing Ritual. They can do 6 damage. So if they hit another Apprentice, we die. If they hit maybe Innkeeper kills me. They've already used 2 of each of those. Yeah, I'm familiar with Control for Days. We've battled a lot. I know they're very good at Yawg. They should change their username to Yawg for Days, maybe, though. Young Wolf. Does that do it? I think that might do it. 3, then 2. I think it's Xaxes. Oh, it's a little bit more than Xaxes. And unfortunately, I can't sack my Haywire Mite before the ring happens. Trying to think if I have any way to get out of this. I don't think so. I think I might as well like tap my ring next turn, right? No, sorry, I didn't realize I was dying right now. Okay, opponent's on 12 minutes on the clock, down a game. Let's bring in these Deluges. Let's bring in the Needles. I think I'm not going to play the Nihil Spellbomb. I want 1 Haywire Mite, I think, not 2. Maybe 2 is okay. I think I want 1 Force of Negation. Could play 2. Yeah, I think I agree second Mite over first Force of Negation. The Force Record can be okay. I kind of still want the first Force. But maybe not. Narset's kind of tough against Yawg. They're pretty good at killing it. I think our opponent also only has 12 minutes, so if we can win game 2, the chances that they time out's kind of high. Yeah, I know Force Edge Ritual. I feel like over 50% of chords happen on our turn. Yeah, but it's also like pretty telegraphed, and so like we hardcast a Force on a chord that last game, and it was really important. But also, you know, if over 50% of chords happen on our turn, still a good number that happen on their turn. I think the first Force is good. And it also hits Ritual. Probably not playing too many Cauldrons, but maybe like some combination of like Chthonian Nightmare, Ritual, Cauldron. Keep, I guess. Got an odd hand. This is good enough to keep. Once on a mold of 5. How's Deluge to Modern? I think it's very good. I think it's a pretty underplayed card. It's very good against Nadu, too. Does the Toro and Basim not mix well together? We played a build with both that had a bunch of Ornithopters and Midmites, but the problem is we're drawing a lot of cards, but we just have a lot of like shitty cards, you know what I mean? Naming Yawgmoth. This is game 2, we're down a game. So I was missing a second land with this hand, but I actually just drew one, so now I'm feeling great. Not a bad turn 2. It's a pretty good card against me. Do have 4 Fatal Push and 2 Toxic Deluge at least. Predictably putting that one on top. So I'm going to play this ring, which is obviously going to get oofed, but I don't have much else to do this turn. I haven't drawn a push yet. Could be off the top. I do have some stuff to do this turn, even if I don't draw it, at least. Got a Saga, which can make some big tokens. We still have a Needle on their Yawgmoth. And we got a Basim, although I don't have, my last card's not a spell to trigger Basim. Basim can help me dig for push. Snap off a block. Two cards in their hand. Wow, no attacks. They're good. Alright, lose a life to my ring. So we did draw a historic spell. That spell is Emry, Lurker of the Loch. Draw a card, Basim unblockable. Doesn't seem like they have a Bowmaster, and thank you, Basim. I give you full credit for this fatal push. There we go. Drawing off the Basim trigger. Alright, going to game 3. Opponent, we won that one pretty fast, so my opponent should have plenty of time to win this one, assuming they do. I think I like our sideboard plan. I think maybe on the draw, I'm gonna play the second Force on the draw over the second Mite. Yeah, Basim is really, really good. Did you miss game 2? I guess so. My opponent mulled to 5, but they had Collector Oof, but we were kind of like a little bit too ahead for them to really leverage it. We eventually found a push too, but we're kind of ahead anyways. What are my favorite sideboard cards right now? I don't know, Consign to Memory stands out maybe. Break the Ice is pretty good. Although it kind of seems like maybe the Eldrazi Tron decks are dipping in popularity, Necro's rising in popularity. Kind of an interesting 7. Don't know if I can talk myself into this hand. It's not... I'm on the draw. It's pretty close, honestly. I think I can actually keep... I've clicked the keep button. Very borderline hand. But I think being on the draw with a possible surveil, I'm going to keep this one. Could be a cap in this deck. The card is too strong to be played in more modern. This deck can't support Kappa Cannoneer, or doesn't support Kappa Cannoneer. You need to be like an affinity deck. You really need to be like very built around that card, which we aren't, you know. Don't really see a lot of reason to activate right now. Really in the tank about this one. I think it's good. So I have this Emry in my hand that can allow me to rebuy the Haywire Mite. I don't really want to crack this Bauble and lose this Emry to a possible Bowmaster, though. When it has misclicked here. Pretty crucial misclick, honestly. I did the same misclick one of the first times I played with this card, too. So I'm going to go ahead and crack this Bauble. If they have a Bowmaster, I still get to cast something off the Emry. They're drawing a Bowmaster next turn. Fuck. Brutal Fatal Push. Devastating Fatal Push. I'm gonna get to this after that. We're in a challenge, but I'll get to it in a second. They have another Bowmaster, which doesn't seem that likely. Probably can't win. Abrupt Decay, huh? Guess that's not so bad. Got one card in their hand. They're drawing another Birthing Ritual next turn. So I'll card a creature. It's not their hand that kind of does nothing. So this is kind of interesting because this shuffles the Haywire Mite back into my deck. So I'm able to get that going again. Yeah, I guess I'm doing okay. See what happens here. This was a one-lander, by the way. This is what... You're wondering why I was, like, struggling with keeping this hand. Okay, goodbye, Endurance. Hello, Haywire Mite. Goodbye, Urza Saga. Very interesting game. Gonna draw a million cards. So they're just drawing a land next turn, which probably means we can't really lose. Since we know the other cards of Birthing Ritual. Basim's been really good bucket. I'd recommend this card. They get Arbor and 2 Rituals. Oh, no. I have a Force. I did kind of miss the Arbor line. They can only get a 1-drop, though. What's up?
I was giving you an
that's very thoughtful of you.
Yeah.
We're in a chally. I think we're about to be 3-0. So flip the Tommy. I guess I could have attacked first time. Doesn't seem like that big a deal. So let's see what they're drawing next turn. Okay, perfect. I could draw many more cards here if I wanted to. Yeah, DGs. It's a very interesting choice on like the Might versus the ring there, because like I'm gonna be able to like get my Haywire Mite kill our opponent's Birthing Ritual. But the fact that I had the Minamo in the hand and the ring was just worth like 5 cards there, it was just a bit too much. Cool spot. Okay, 3-0. We are 11-2 with this deck overall.
It's just tea. It's still like at least 50
Well, I don't know. I
milligrams.
mostly just need a snack.
Okay, well, I know that it's like wide spike, but like, guys, look at my shirt. It's Lisa Simpson.
That shirt loves that shirt.
She's looking at a chipmunk. It's really hard to tell because it's wide.
Okay, we're on the play for round number 4 of the challenge. I'm playing a Nihil Spellbomb on turn 1, and I'm passing the turn.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
My opponent plays a Thundering Falls tapped. They put a Minamo into the graveyard, so just guy control, I would guess. Gonna get an island, play our Basim. Can I check this Cassandra? I get like a. If you're gonna submit a deck list for the review or whatever, or just like to hope I look at it, in the middle of a challenge match is not a very good time. I'm not gonna be able to look at it. It's I'm gonna have to. It will have to wait. So it's much better if you try to submit it in between rounds of the challenge. Okay, Force of Negation on the Mox Amber. Take that. Good start for us. All right, Basim card draw count is now 2. Build over a ring. So if they do have Wrath the Skies, they're going to need an energy generator to kill my Emry. Or my Basim, for that matter. They keep a card on top. I get to Nihil Spellbomb the Flage. Will they go after Emry? Will they go after Basim? They go after Emry. Could be a hint that they have Wrath the Skies, I guess. Okay, Basim card count 3. Emry's nice here because it doesn't get Wrathed. Basim also out of Galvanic Discharge range now, and Flage range. If they discharge this construct... Oh, planes. Okay. Yeah, Basim's 5/5 now. I'm gonna crack this now. Mystigate. Got to exile one of the Flages. Second Flage may get to come down at some point. 4 cards in their hand. They have a Wrath Disguise. They have a ring. I don't have green for my Haywire Mite yet. If they had Wrath Disguise and this, there's a good chance they would have only played this. So it seems I won't be able to have green mana for Haywire Mite this turn, unfortunately. Oh, and they thankfully don't have a second Force of Negation. Resolved Ring is so crazy against Jeskai. They have a really hard time dealing with it. And I do have Minamo here. Feeling pretty good. Oh, actually can't sack the Bauble right now because they we both have protection. But I found a Tamiyo, I could have also flipped Tamiyo and used the Mox Amber for green, which is kind of fun. Did I draw a fetch yet? There's at least one fetch in my yard. There's two. I think those might have been milled by Emry, though, to be honest. Good card to know about. I'm not worried about decking. Yeah, I've got some Emrys in my hand, but I kind of don't think I should play them. I think I should maybe just save them to pitch. Oh, also I didn't realize that, Oh, did I have a Bauble draw or something? I did have the Bauble draw, sorry. I thought I was going to flip the Tamiyo there. Can flip it at instant speed now. So if they play another Wrath of Skies, I can tap the ring in response, maybe. They're at 9. So I don't have a Subtlety in my hand, but I have 4 in my 21 card deck I can draw into, so I'm going to tap the ring here. So let's see if this trigger resolves. Does. "17 cards in my deck. It's plenty. Flage has gone back on top here. So if I force this, my opponent goes down to 7, then down to 4, and then if they tap the ring, they're dead again. I still have a bunch of pitch cards left in the deck. Must protect our Basim. It's imperative. "15 cards left in my deck. Yeah, I know the mob stacks are green now. Okay. The Basim being a 4/4 is a pretty big deal. I don't necessarily have to counter Flage anymore. Alright. So I'm probably gonna just draw 6 more cards here, and then no more. That's enough cards. Take 6. Pick up a Force of Negation. We're not that far away from wanting to Fatal Push our own Basim, to be honest. Hmm. Alright, your turn. Trail with the 18 months. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. Alright, so we have a lethal ring over there now. Their flages are lethal, though. I think I discarded a little bit, honestly. Yeah, I think I messed this turn up. I could have kept 2 more blue cards in hand to pitch one more time, basically. Yeah, that would have been enough. And I'm dead. Alright, game 3, or game 2. Tough match, just trying to play fast. A little too fast. I don't know if I'm playing 0 Fatal Push. 1? 1 or 2. Have to keep in the Shadowspear. Yeah, these have been some great matches for sure. Yeah, just trying to play a little too fast. Like, I kept a Fatal Push in my hand because I thought I might need to kill Basim, and a Ring in my hand because I might need to reset Ring, but it just wasn't relevant. I just need to be able to pitch cast one more time. Would you want Consign for Ring Impossible Flage Stifle? I don't think so. You could play 1 over like second push, but I think being able to push Subtlety is kind of nice. Like, and be able to have an out to resolve Flage is pretty nice too. Well, maybe Flage doesn't resolve enough. I guess you could play 1. Surprised you were playing Oracle like at the other list. I've never played an Oracle in a Basim deck. I don't know what deck you're talking about. I don't know. I know we drew our deck chat, but this is not a fastest Oracle deck, I think. Let's keep. Why didn't you activate the ring to draw 7 responsive force? I only had 2 cards in my deck, so I lose the game if I did that. Put something to 6 here. Gonna have to play fast. Yeah, great game for sure. They graveyard a hinge, which would imply they got plenty of lands to play. I think I'm going to hardcast this instead of making a Saga token. Alright, they've used one Force of Negation already. Your turn. Four cards in their hand. A few more. Down to 15. It's down to 11 life points. I'm going to cast an Emry. Can't cast too many more of these. Good card to know about. Okay, I don't know about it anymore. I'm mostly cracking the bubble now for clock considerations. I'm losing some info, but I also could draw. I want to draw the card on their turn, so I could use it on their turn. Keep a card on top, but I really just want to keep like a 2-minute buffer if I can. It feels like it'll be maybe important going into game 3. These games can go just so long. I think we will not be drawing a card here. Four cards in their hand. Three cards in their hand. They don't want to subtlety my subtlety, I guess. $20 cards left in my deck. They have 9 life points. Your turn. Yeah, I don't want to tap that Minamo. Shout out to the Consign suggester, I guess. What's kind of fun about this dress down is I can play this Emry guilt-free without having to worry about milling myself. Oh, and then, sorry, I meant to click. I thought for some, my brain's like, I cast Emry, Evan, okay, so I meant to pick up a Force of Negation. I'm also, again, trying to play pretty fast. My hand is also very good, so it's just gonna be okay. Yeah, I totally tapped you for blue, Mox Amber. Well, wish I had picked up that Force of Negation. Oh, never mind, I found one. Okay, so we go to game 3. Plenty of time on the clock. Can't play super slow. I think I'm liking my sideboard plan here. Let's go ahead and go to game 3. I wouldn't hate, like, honestly, Consign is the 61st card, second Consign, but probably not correct. Well played. I don't think either match has been particularly well played. Made a clear mistake both games. Misclick in this game. Misdiscarded in the last turn. The last game cost us game 1. Is there some theoretical reality where more than 60 cards are ideal to the number of cards you draw in our Oracle deck? You're a control deck. It was just a normal control deck, or maybe not that normal of a control deck, but it's like you're way overthinking it. We are a control deck. We draw a lot of cards. Some of the most intense overthinking I've ever seen, to be honest. 5 cards in their hand. Won't be answering any questions, I think, this game. Got too much focus I need to have here. I'd love to answer all of your questions if I could. They forced some negation this earlier. They're thinking about it again, it seems. Y'all were so right about this Consign, it's crazy. The Flage coming back's, you know, not unscary though. Basim, baby! It's all about that Basim, I tell you what. My opponent didn't go for a Flage Escape. This is best against a Subtlety. So my Basim gets out of Flage range, which is pretty relevant. Is this Flage or is it Wrath? It's Flage. With some lag too. I see it in the game log that Flage is on the stack, but I don't see it on my computer. So look, there it is. Okay. So goodbye, Tamiyo. One of Fatal Push. That's all you need, baby. And an Emry for good measure, because we didn't do enough this turn. Or no? That's a game one, too. So I've not won a game one this challenge, huh? That was a tough one. Ooh, had to almost use 20% of my power that game. For top 8. I think this might be Boros. Fnatic with the 24 months. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Cambu with the Twitch Prime. T-Vin with the 16. For all slot decks that want Ranger Captain, is Ogi Ranger Vables playable? Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Like, getting 2 Ocelot Prides in the late game seems so nice. So I that's something that's on my list to work on. We could maybe work on it a little bit, but I just kind of don't know what the rest of the deck looks like exactly. Like, it could be like you could play it in the black-white scam Nightmare deck maybe. And then one thing is, like, if you're like an Aether Vial Recruiter of the Guard deck, Recruiter of the Guard can find the Ranger Captain, which is kind of cool. So you can just play it like as a top end in Death and Taxes. I mean, what is that deck? I actually don't know. Okay, opponent deep in the tank here. That's why I love having the Hand Hider. I don't need to be worried about opponents popping in here. Okay, my opponent thinks for a minute. Floats a white. Wait, it took you this long to play Ocelot Pride? Wild. No, they said no to moving my QPs to my main account. But maybe if I do well enough in this challenge and we're off to a good start, I can play like in one showcase this weekend. They say recruiter finds Ranger Captain. Not Ranger Captain. The 4-mana 3/2, like the Ranger of Eos, like the original one that Ranger Captain references. They target the Tamiyo, which I think makes sense since Tamiyo is pretty good against Ocelot Pride. Let's draw a card for the Bauble. Best pick. Three cards in their hand. Doing pretty okay, I think. They shock a Sacred Foundry and 2 cards left. Fuck. Maybe in for a long one here. Frenzo, the 3 years. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. Their hand was 2 Ajani's? Ugh, fucking shit, dude. So bad for me. Actually, it's maybe not that bad with my specific hand. Because they don't have a red permanent. They're gonna need to make a million cats, but I can my game plan at this point is to loop rings and eventually figure out a way to kill this Ocelot Pride at some point. But loop rings. Oh, they plus? Interesting. I guess I kind of realized how low my life total was. 8, 11 damage. I guess I have to chump. Go after the Johnny Basim. This is gonna be a tough one to win. One nice thing is that they don't draw. Actually, I with my hand I can stop them. No wait, sorry, never mind. They can Johnny to do this again. Damn it. Michael, 60 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. All that stuff. Oh, they have plus. Okay, so they're not going to get to trigger this. There's Giganta in the hand. All the deluges are on the side, unfortunately. So they're going to jump a cat here. Okay, so I had to go down to 3 life points. Definitely going to play another ring. Certainly want to find an Urza Saga. No Saga for me this turn. Which is really bad, honestly. I can loop rings, and I've got a few turns of that. Which gotta count for something here. Also just didn't hit my land drop this turn, because I need to get into a spot where I can Shadowspear equip and ring. Three Sagas still in the deck, 28 cards in the deck. My opponent can escape a Flage or cast a Gigantha this turn. Yeah, this is game one. Don't they just Flage Emry? I have 3 subtleties in my hand. So we can kill the Ajani this turn. I go down to 2. Not drawing any Urza Sagas here has been kind of unfortunate. They unsurprisingly put that on top. I gotta draw a card here. So go up to 3, down to 2. Right, Basim. Yeah, still game 1. We're ahead on time in this game. We're up a minute on the clock. So I think I'm going to draw again. Go, Basim, go! Okay, 4th Subtlety. Easy. Maybe I wasn't supposed to make the second token, because now I actually can't unblockable my Basim until second main phase. I only have 10 cards left in my library. And the big problem is my opponent is going to get to kill my Emry. Guess I'll go and draw one more. Okay, maybe this was a mistake. Yeah, I think it was actually a mistake to draw there. They get to resolve the Flage. I have used all 4 of my subtleties.
You want some liquid IV?
No, I'm incredibly focused right now. I'm sorry. Very, very tense game.
Here you go.
Thank you, though. So I have another ring in my hand. Wait, couldn't my opponent have killed this Tamiyo a long time ago? So I have an Emry in my hand. I just can't afford to cast it. I'm going to deck myself. Some pretty serious lag. I did restart in between matches. So I do want to keep this Basim unblockable. Did finally draw a second Urza Saga. And the 21. They have 13, 16. Yeah, not lethal. Pass back. I don't need to sack my Spellbomb until my opponent puts something into the yard also. There is Giganta Mystery card. Find a Galvanic Discharge. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this Nihil Spellbomb. I think I will not draw a card. Cast this Force of Negation. Yeah, this is game one. Trying to play as fast as I can. Opponent says no attacks. Two. One card in my deck. Cannot cast another historic spell, I guess. Yeah, I think I... Wait, my last card is Otawara, isn't it? Does it do anything for me? Probably doesn't do nothing. Tap the ring is a bit... I mean, I had to tap the ring to find a historic card to give the thing unblockable, I thought. I guess I was wrong. Otawara's in my yard? I don't see it. I believe that it is, though. I just don't see it. I think you might be wrong. About 7 down. Okay, I mean, no, I see. I think it might be confusing the Emry there. We'll see. We'll see in a second. Okay. So I can cast a historic spell to give this unblockable, but I deck, and my opponent gets to survive this attack. Maybe this was possible to win. The thing is, I couldn't have given it unblockable the prior turn, anyways. If only it was a May ability. Equip Shadowspear. I was dead. They can survive the attack, and I have no cards in my library. A lot of people have been cutting the... We didn't see it. Unstable aim, a lot of people have been cutting them. I think having these for Blood Moons makes sense. Could play second one of these. Just gonna play one, I think. They punted when they had lethal earlier anyways. I don't know that they had that. Yeah, I needed an elixir, huh? An elixir would make unironically make this matchup a lot better. Because like they're kind of weak to you looping rings with Emry. It's interesting. Counter Ruin's kind of neat. It's really tough to play another colorless utility land in a deck with Basim and 4 Sagas. Consign for Flagellant and Dawning Triggers is not good enough for in this matchup, I think. Yeah, like I'm not really happy to consign an ETB trigger. Yeah, an elixir on the sideboard could be good. Yeah, I could play a Shielder too. They have 3 energy to pump with Guide and 2 extra damage at 21. They got the extra energy off Raptor. Oh, I actually think you might be wrong about them having lethal in that spot, but I might be misremembering. Consign is not good against Raptor. You're just 2 for 1ing yourself. Yeah, Needle for Flipajani, maybe that's actually fine. It can also hit, what's it called? Could you make a second construct by untapping Saga with Minamo? Saga's not legendary, so no. Is Needle Guide a bad play? Yeah, Guide doesn't have an activated ability. Consign also kills a Johnny on flip. No, it doesn't. Just stops it from flipping. Okay. On the play. Mulligan. 0 lander. Go to 5. Yeah, they could have killed Tamiyo a million years earlier. That was definitely a big mistake. I don't know how they're only ahead 2 minutes on clock. It's kind of wild, to be honest. How strong is hand? Well, I did mold to 5, so it's a pretty good mold to 5, but it's still a mold to 5 is still mold to 5. Maybe they'll just have turn 3 Blood Moon and we'll be out of here. Yep. I actually had a Force of Negation in my opening hand, but I mold to 5, so I put it back. We're dead. Unless we draw Runner, Swamp Island. Okay, 4-1. It's fine. I would love to figure out like if that game 1 was winnable. It doesn't feel like I fucked up on a turn, but for the game to be so close, like we would be a lot better as a 6-card hand, I guess. Damn. Grim Monolith Wield? Who is letting these kids draft? Grim Monolith Wield. Task for 3 mana. Have in your draft? What did you take over over Grim Monolith? Everybody's reading Basim. The Benevolent Rumble Wield. There she is. I have to exile my clue token. Good chance they just flicker Basim so the Ocelot can get into. Interesting that they would attack and then still be unsure what they want to exile. I'm not going to block this turn, I guess. Could be reasonable too. Subpassing Gadgeteer with Monolith Pile. It's pretty tight at infinite mana. Oh, totally, yeah. Didn't realize that. Does seem like we may be a little weak to these Blood Moons. Mox Amber's helping at least. So now Basim can block the Felia. They exile my Tamiyo. It's kind of interesting. 3 cards in their hand. 2 cards in their hand. Nice. Huge, 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 huge. Oh, sorry, I forgot to update the title. Yeah, we lost to Boros last round. Crazy game one. Game one was so complicated, and I made like a very small mistake or a small mistake after like 30 turns, and I had no cards in my library, and if I was able to give Basim unblockable, we could have won. And there was one turn where I just like realized, oh, I probably shouldn't have drawn that card. It's wild. Yeah, Tamiyo's really good. There's been some Tamiyo haters in the chat today. So there's a ring to start looping. Three cards in their hand. Yeah, this deck rules. I'm pretty into it. Yeah, they changed this. Oh, fast concession, dude. I think I need to keep in all these Force of Negations. And I boarded out my Mite, but I think maybe Mox Amber as like a way to use Mite to kill Blood Moon is worth keeping in. Maybe not. I think we maybe just got kind of lucky. Yeah, it's kind of like a wild like time to concede, like when you're 4-1 in a challenge, but I'll take it. Okay, let's do this. I'm not gonna bring in Needle. Just need to have you need to be able to Force Negation Blood Moon as often as possible. A really sad hand, honestly. Let's keep. Could definitely improve a lot with a top deck. Runs on a mold to 6 also. Might also answer his Talisman. IDK seems good to me. What Talisman? You could play Might. It's just, I don't know. I feel like we maybe don't have enough room. Oh, Unstable Amulet, sure. Hits Fable. Yeah, it doesn't line up very well against Fable. We already have 4 Force Negations too. For sure. Does he have a Fel yet? So this hand was sad because I had Tamiyo plus 3 Mishra's Baubles, but I couldn't turn 1 play them all because my only land is this. This is still my only land. Graveyard's a wear tear. Always a good card for them to have. This is game 2. We're up a game. We gotta go after that. They must have another wear tear in hand? Not necessarily, but maybe. They put the Ocelot on the bottom, which is kind of interesting. So let's see what they are drawing next turn. Okay. Got kind of an interesting decision point. Pitch Tamiyo. The option was kind of like set up for Tamiyo next turn, or go Fatal Push plus Tamiyo last turn and pitch the Emry. But I feel like I didn't want to pitch the. I want to pitch the Tamiyo and get Emry online because I think Emry is just so good against them. Although this Flage is a nightmare, I guess. Would have also killed the Tamiyo, so I guess I could have had this. One card in their hand. They don't have the energy to Aether Hub Flage yet. I think Cheddar's may be right about the last card being Wear Tear. It is something that makes a lot of sense in this spot. They have one card in their hand, potentially Wear Tear. My last two cards are Subtlety, Force of Negation, so I guess we're Subtletying here. Getting wrecked by the Amped Raptor. They do put the Flage on top. Gets me down to 7, then down to 5. Then I guess I'm fetching down to 4. Tamiyo's a good draw. Emry's a good draw. We would take Basim. We would take Urza Saga, although if we... Or, sorry, I meant to get... Doesn't really matter, but I meant to get a Watery Grave. Okay, Basim we accept. If they have Wear Tear, they should probably kill my Shadowspear right now. Okay, so the last card was not Wear Tear, it was Galvanic Discharge. So obviously we need our opponent to be brick a lot here, which is tough because, you know, they don't have that many bricks in their deck. I'm at 2. Giganta into the hand. Best case scenario, of course. I draw a Subtlety, so we're going to go to game 3 to be on the play for game 3. Could sideboard a little differently if we wanted to. I feel like I like our plan, maybe. I could see maybe playing like one more Mox Amber, one less Force of Negation on the play. Just feels like they have Blood Moons, and we're weak to Blood Moons, so let's... I guess we can... No, because Mox Amber also helps, and then we could try to fetch basics, too. I should have fetched a basic island that one turn, I guess. Just play one less. The extra Mox Amber on the play lets you have some, you know, nutty starts too. Don't want second Spellbomb? No, I don't think so. We have the first one, we have Subtlety, we have Fatal Push, we have a lot of ways to deal with Flage. I don't know how often you need the second one. I like the second against Jeskai more than Boros, at least. Okay, I think I have to keep this hand. Not super happy with it. Upside is just way too high. Got there. Stumbling a little bit here, I guess. Use a second land. I think I have to just hold up mana here, though. You go after Basim, you want to go after Tamiyo, opponent. You decide Tamiyo. Okay, take 4 down to 11. Pretty much hoping my opponent doesn't top deck another red source. Mark, thank you for the 31. Appreciate you. Okay. 4 cards in their hand. Oh, wait, what the hell? They didn't want to escape? Okay, deal. Thank you, opponent, I guess. So down to 8. Dragon Killer, thank you for Twitch Prime. Hope you're doing well. Guess they're playing on Subtlety. Maybe they have Arena. There's no chance they have Arena. They missed a land drop earlier this game, and then they just played their 4th land. I love that now I have to go to 3. It'd be nice to have drawn a Urza Saga in the top 30 cards of my deck. Still, if not, I get some draws next turn, which is nice. Nice that they give you cards every single turn of this game. Giving away that we don't have Subtlety. How are we doing that? Because I want to know what I did to imply I don't have Subtlety, because I do have Subtlety. They do put it on top. Makes sense, right? I guess I'm tapping this just to look for Urza Saga. Still don't have it. Not a big difference between being a 2 and 3, I guess. Maybe just draw the Shadowspear also. Wow, Flage on top. Well, don't exactly need this now. We'll take it, I guess. Okay, that's where people hit the ring. Yeah, me neither. uh, okay, I don't actually have another force in my hand right now. It's maybe okay though. Don't deck. We lost a match to Boros because we drew exactly one too many cards earlier today. Okay, I didn't draw a force off of this. Thing is, I can just replay the Shadowspear, so it's not really that big a deal. Just concedes. Opponents give a giver-upper, which we appreciate. Okay, so we're 5-1. There's a chance our breakers are pretty good, so there's a good chance we could lose and still top 8. But obviously, we want to just win and then. Looping Lanes just seems super good. The thing is about Looping Reeds is it's mostly good against like Boros. It's like mostly just good against Boros. There's not that many decks that are just like us. We're towards the top of the X1s, and X1 goes out to 10th place. Okay, so our ability to like lose this match and still top 8 actually seems pretty high. So unlucky not to have a Bauble or Amber in my hand. But against Murktide earlier, it seemed like a pretty good matchup. Sad to not get to finish that cube match. Yeah, I mean, I think Basim grinding station or reach combo could be good, Jesse. I'm sure you'll have a Patreon article about it any day now. How do you end up higher on the X1? So matches of tournament magic. A lot of people are going to have the same score, so there are tiebreakers that are determined mostly by your opponent's match win percentage. That's the most important one, and if that's tied, it goes to your individual game win percentage, and if that's tied, it goes to your opponent's game win percentage, which never really comes up, right? I think a 4/4 Basim. Yeah, I do feel my tiebreakers historically are not the best. It came with a pretty novel breachless deck. I'm in the middle of a challenge, but I'd love to take a look at it in between rounds. It's the best time to pitch this kind of stuff. Yeah, no worries, no worries. It's just, pretty calm, but I feel like people just get so excited during the challenge matches. Gotta focus. Especially because I started off behind on clock here, because they're Cuban. I'll have to visit Cuba one day. Cuba and Chile are like the two countries I feel like I want to visit the most next. Chile is just so longitudinally advantaged. You can just be right by Antarctica, right up by the equator. They've really got it going on. Cuba's kind of mid. Dominican Republic's better. I just think it's cool. Cool country. I'd love to see all the world one day. Beast Coast, Twitch Prime, thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. So opponents may be planning to block with the DRC. Two different options here. Could let this happen. I can do something about this. Guess that's it. So this is bad if they have their own Force of Negation, but even then it's not even so bad. I have another Basim in my hand, which is part of the reason for maybe thinking about just doing Saga token. It seems pretty good. Yeah, deck seems really good, I agree. So I'm gonna play a big Murktide. Because I get Nihil Spellbombs, they can't Unholy Heat my Basim. The one of push. There are 4 fatal pushes in this deck. Lava Spur Boots. Boots could be okay, but I think these are 3 better Saga targets. We have all these. Just too many, I think. Okay, well, we're up a game. How did I sideboard against them earlier? I think I just cut the Spellbomb for the Mite for a Spellbomb. Don't think I went Deluge. Try Blue Spellbomb. I mean, Murktide is just not really popular enough or scary enough, I think, but you could do that. Yeah, it's the last round before top 8. Yeah, but you could play it through Spellbomb. I think it's important to have all these Force of Negations for Blood Moon, like, because it seems like one of the main ways I could lose this matchup. Also stops like their Brotherhood ends and stuff. Yeah, I don't want to bring in Needle for explosives because I don't know if it's that likely they have explosives right now, but it could be very easily Brotherhood end instead. And see blue. Yeah, blue-black Murktide's a lot more popular than blue-red, although we are playing against blue-red here. Yeah, I agree an Aether Spellbomb could certainly make its way into the list. Do we think they would make an emergency BNR in the normal Monday time slot? I don't know when they would do it. That seems like a likely time. I did make a bet with Dingo that if it's not banned by the 15th, I'll give him 100 subs, and if it is, he'll give me 100 subs. Aether Spellbomb Sim, yeah. It's kind of like not good against anything besides Murktide is the problem. Maybe there's some other spots for it. Like Hammer's just not really a deck anymore. The problem is this Basim deck has also been kind of good against Nadu. Game 1 is good against almost everyone. Yeah, that's fair. Pretty valid. Yeah, I mean, Nihil Spellbomb for Flage is pretty important game 1. You could cut the 4th Mox Amber, but I feel like I've been liking having 4. Is there an announcement? There's not a scheduled announcement, but I'm predicting that they are going to it just doesn't make sense to not ban Nadu before RCQ season. It doesn't make sense to wait, and the longer you wait, the more people are buying Nadu decks for RCQ seasons. You know what I mean? Yeah, but apparently Watsy hasn't been in the office this week. I don't know. Is my opponent not going to sideboard? Huh. The deck timer went down to 0, which I believe means my opponent just didn't sideboard, but maybe they last seconded it or something else happened, or maybe I didn't sideboard. Is that more likely? Yeah, the Mite's out, so I did get the sideboard in. My hand is not very good. Puts on a mold to 6. I think on the draw against a 6, I'll click the keep button. How integral are rings to this deck? I think it's very important. It's like without rings, you don't have enough artifacts for Emry. Looping rings is kind of important against Boros. You have 4 Mox Ambers, so casting ring on turn 3 happens a lot. But not a super mandatory card, I guess. No, sorry, it is super mandatory. I take it back. Okay, Bauble my upkeep. My draw step was pretty bad. I was definitely hoping they didn't have Ragavan with this hand. 2 top, 0 on the bottom. It's bad news also. Why did Jesse have to talk about the ring? My opening hand had 1 ring, and now it has 3. Now it has 3. Yeah, I should have self-restricted the 1 ring here. Wait, they graveyarded this expressive iteration? I'm so cooked. Just so dead. Okay, my hand is exactly the 3 ring. I kind of feel like if these 2 rings were almost any other draw steps, this game would have been a bit better. But if I draw an Urza Saga and they don't have a counterspell, could be in good shape. So I've drawn a Nihil Spellbomb. Read Tamiyo off the Nihil Spellbomb could get there. Hard to be preordained in the spot. Probably could have mulliganed too. Both on the bottom with the preordain. I guess that's step 1. Flips over a Tamiyo. Thought for a second they might flip the Tamiyo. This is game 2. We're up a game, so we'll be on the play for game 3. Maybe Deluge is okay. Yeah, I think on the play I don't want it. I just love like if Tamiyo blocks Ragavan, I have 4 Fatal Push in my deck. Deluge isn't particularly good against Murktide. Okay. Dead. Going to game 3. 4 force is so many, but it's just like counters a lot of important cards. Even if we don't sneak in, or even if we don't, even if we don't win this one, our chances to get in on breakers are pretty good. I'm gonna go my phone so I can listen to some music real quick.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike. What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike. What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Yeah, although maybe we kind of thought our opponent didn't sideboard that game, so maybe they're like getting to sideboard for the first time.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Find a new Fatal Push art. Well, I'm using my old account, so I didn't get to pick the art. But it's just on no sideboard Murktide. We have a Haywire Mites for the breeding pool. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, they did sideboard. I need to crack both baubles on my turn. I'll let you figure out why. If you don't press submit, it doesn't remember your boarding changes. If you go from game 2 to 3 without changing anything, it'll still keep how you sideboard for game 2. But my opponent let the timer run all the way down in between games, so I don't think they sideboarded. Unless I don't know if there's another like way to understand what happened there, but No, they got a Ragavan. Honest question, have to played with Hand Hider this whole challenge? I have had a Hand Hider up this whole challenge, yeah. Thank you for the honest question. Actually, it's not even known if that is a question. Or do you always play with Hand Hider this challenges? I don't know. I don't always, but like I didn't last week for the whole thing with Mono Green Eldrazi, because I kind of was thinking, if my opponent knows my hand, it's not that big a deal. In this deck, it's a really big deal. And also, it's like, when we have opponents like this that are like, Spire Bluff Canal, tank for 5 minutes, like, you just have to have the Hand Hider up. There's just not really another option. Okay, don't have my second land yet. There it is. Would I do it on upkeep so my opponent can't counterspell it like Fatal Push? Am I getting Null Drifted? I'm just gonna tap again. Yeah, I kind of can't believe how how unanswered this Emry's been. Kind of never happens like this. It's very difficult for them to win at this point, I think. I have another one in my hand. And a ring on top. Oh, I milled over my swamp. This can't kill Emry. It's only 1 damage to 2 different things, not 2 as you choose. Three cards in their hand. My turn. Oh, they exiled the Mox Amber. I was thinking about playing it from the yard, actually. That way I'd be able to Minamo and tap my ring. Yeah, not very surprised that this got counterspelled. That's okay that it did. Oh no, my Emry might die now. It's actually kind of a bad time because now I can't get the ring back. I think we got enough value out of the Emry though. 2 cards in their hand. 6/6 Murktide. Not bad. Maybe have another Dress Down in their hand, I wonder. Could be another counterspell. Okay, we had some. Our last two opponents didn't exactly have all the will to fight in the world, but I'll take it. Okay, 6-1 top 8. Nice. Back-to-back top 8s for us. I forgot up the record after the last round. Top 8, let's go. Very nice. Got second place. Yeah. Again, yeah. We're on the draw. The Magic Online does not do seeding. Magic Online does not care how you did in the Swiss. They just still die roll. Yeah, Narset's for Jeskai and Necro. Narset's really good against Necro. They don't have it. Korsky, Twitch Prime, thank you so much. You probably don't want to minus it against because of Soul Spike sometimes, though. Okay, on the draw, my opponent's on a mold of 5. On the play. They're leading on Windswept Heath. Could this be Boros with no Gigantha? Could this be Nadu? Maybe Nadu. Yeah, I don't know why MTGO doesn't seed for first. I agree that it wouldn't be that difficult, but it's been like this, you know, forever. Got a lot of good top decks here. Did not top deck any of my wish list cards, I guess. Looking like Nadu. They got 3 cards in their hand. Gonna jam into these trend times. I've been really into Chapel Roan lately. Esther got me into her. We're gonna go see her at ACL this year, actually. So I have this breeding pool in my hand right now. Opponent's hand is Haywire Mite, 2 mystery cards. It's kind of nice. They, you know, mull to 5 and they get to just go back to 7. So they're saying they got 2 spells in their hand. I have to play this. I know it's not super duper ideal. Throwing for content. I don't have a better play. You know, sometimes you just gotta play the cards in your hand. Maybe we could have upkeep tap the ring. We faced 0 Nadus in Swiss. We played against it once earlier this week. We beat it 2-0, I think. It's Nadu, so we don't have an amazing matchup, but we can win. How do you play Nadu this slowly? They have 1 card in their hand. I hope it's not another Shuko. Let's make them use the mana now, I guess. Mattia, thank you for the raid. GG's earlier. Yeah, second challenge top 8 in a row. We're a bit on a little roll here. Something a court for Safekeeper. Thank you, Mattia. Thanks again for the raid. How do they play this slow on like top 8? I guess it's okay. Ugh, good hit. One thing that's kind of messed up is I had Subtlety here, and I just like they had double chord. So they had his Delighted Halfling. Oh, they sacked the Yavimaya. Did you have to let them trigger the Nadu twice on the turn they played it? Yeah. They cast Nadu, they equip Shuko. I could respond with my Fatal pushing, but that's the second trigger. So it's better to push after they Shuko again, because you just get more info, and if they somehow have a protection spell off the Nadu, then they don't get to cast it. Okay, your turn. This is my blue card for Subtlety. I think I'm supposed to play it out here. So top card just Shuko. Just they're going. Hit an Otawara. Yeah, maybe they're just too likely to hit here. But also Subtlety doesn't stop Shuko, which is a lot more likely than them drawing out Riders anyways. They reveal a ring. That's okay. This game is over? I don't think it's 0. We're not 0%. We got a bunch of doom and gloomers in the chat for surezies. Like, the Tamiyo just cleans up all the insect tokens, too. They found the Outrider. Maybe if I held the Tamiyo, huh? Yeah, this is game 1. I want to see their deck list. Hope I can play it out. Z with the raid. Hope you're doing well. One Deluge. We have 2 Deluge in the sideboard. Yeah, I want to make it see the deck list. We're chilling. Match is going well. We're in the challenge top 8 right now with our Basim homebrew deck. Likely gonna be good down a game against Nadu. Holding Tommy wouldn't have helped. They just sack land and get it. Wait, no, I could Subtlety the Outriders, and then they wouldn't have had the mana to replay it, would they? Maybe they would have. We're probably still losing, yeah. Pickle Bolas, great username. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. They can technically besage you or everything. Yeah. Well, I mean, not on Magic Online. That's not a real thing on Magic Online. But should I go through it? Yes, I want to see your list. But my opponent's giving me their entire deck list here, so I just like I'm not going to concede when I can get info for game 2 and 3. You know, they could have something juicy. Been lifting lately, but shows look at big and strong. It's not, you don't need to lift, you just stretch your webcam. They give it a click for the 21. Yeah, now we see Shifting Woodland, which is a really relevant card to know about. Noble Hierarch is a really good card to know about. I saw my cards on MTGO format needs bans. Formats, there's almost no chance Nadu doesn't get banned soon. So, yeah, I think the formats will have bans soon. Rubber Ducky, Twitch Prime, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Don't you consider the timer a reasonable resource not to concede? I like Magic Online. I think it's kind of sporting. I've done this my whole career. If I feel that I am 0% to win, I like to concede, but I'm not going to do that just to be polite when I could get info. Like, yeah, I see Volatile Stormdrake in the main deck. You know, this is just like I see Shifting Woodland. These are, you know, it's just important. But I like to not just play for the clock. I think it is a fun sporting thing to do. You don't have to play that way if you don't want to. That's just how I like to play. Why does not play Stormdrake? They can. It gets rid of Harsh Mentor is kind of the main thing. I suspect they don't play Thor. They are playing Thor. You can't get away with no Oracle at Magic Online. So they are up a game, going 12 minutes into game 2. I'm gonna bring in the Deluges, Haywire Mite number 2, both Needles. And then I think last time I played the matchup, I boarded out most of the Force of Negation. I think I did like -4 Force and a Amber. I think I'm gonna play the first Force over Tamiyo 4, I guess. Oh, sorry. Did I board out the? I forgot to board out the Spellbomb. Can play 2. Could consign the Thoracle trigger. Yeah, but then they have like the beatdown with the tokens the next turn. You know what I mean? I should play second. I think just 3 Tommy is a good number against them. They lose the game spike. Oh right. I don't know if this is the game plan I want to play. They can play around it. They can play Teferi first. You know what I mean? They can Otawara it sometimes. Consign counter Shuko. Yeah, I mean countering Shuko is kind of tough. You know. They have a ring too, so like Consign's not that bad, but Force of Negation counters Cord on their turn, which is nice. Always counters Cord. Also counters Shuko, also counters Ring. Then they still have 3 cards in their library. Yeah, but they had a 3rd blue devotion from the Nadu. Don't you want to counter Cord of Force? Yeah, I have 2 forces. I don't think you want more than that. I'd love to counter every Cord ever. I had a Grafdigger's Cage actually earlier. But it's kind of awkward with Emry, but stops Court of Calling's nice. That's why I cut it though. What else on the mold 6? Keeping Shadowspear for life gain. Yeah, you can basically never cut the Shadowspear in this deck. I even leave it in against like Jeskai and Necro. It's like you're a ring deck, you need life gain. And also like trampling over their blockers is I think a little bit more real than you might think. Yeah, they did mold a 5 last game. My draw was also kind of like mid, I think. Do you want to trade Basim for Halfling? Kinda do. Let's not. But it keeps a card on top. Yeah, I think it was a good concede for them. Good timing. I like my sideboard plan. Let's run it back. Inelegant, 37 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Consign for memory for Pact. Oh, that would be nice of me. Underscore Mutex with the 12 months. Although we didn't see a Pact in their deck. Like, the game one. Like, we didn't see any. Look at Boros energy taken against Naughty besides Harsh Mentor Blood Moon. I've been playing a little bit of, what's that card called? On the backside, it's Revel and Silence. On the front side, it's like a Harsh Mentor. That's a 2-1 and only deals 1 damage. But the other side is a Silence, so it's good against Storm and Living End. But you probably won't have to worry about sideboarding against Nadu too much longer. Yeah, Flame Scroll Celebrant. I've never lost to Nadu any game I've resolved. Valley, Heretic, Athara. Card's also good against the Through the Breach deck, I guess. Okay, opponent, you got 10 minutes on your clock. I'm going to keep my 7, probably. Gonna push the Haywire Mite, I guess. Frost the $5. Can I place my bet the X Court of Calling before they X the bird? Yeah. If you lose, give me $5 more, and or if that happens, give me I'll give to you $5 more. If that does happen, you give me 5 the bam bird first. Well, I sure hope they don't fucking have a Nadu in their hand, I guess. That sucks. This is a brutal Force of Vigor. Thank you, DPA. This is game 3. Oh, they have a second Saga. They can't cast Nadu here. They didn't want to make a Saga token? Oh, right, they couldn't. You're right, you couldn't, man. Yeah. Thank you, Basim. Okay, your turn. Hand's looking pretty good. No! I have subtlety. Fuck. Okay, I also have Toxic Deluge in my hand, so if they brick, we can get there. And obviously not very likely to brick. Brutal. Force of Negation and Subtlety, but Vexing Bauble. Brutal. Yeah, I just drew the Toxic Deluge off the Bauble draw. The people also saying that like they have 6 minutes. They're not going to time out. They're going to be fine. But I guess is it even possible? It's not really possible for them to fizzle, right? Oh, wait, do they have another blue source? They should have another blue source, but if they don't, they can't cast the Oracle. I guess I can show my hand here. We saw Fountain Game 1. Fair enough. What if it was drawn for turn? I guess they would have played it. They have plenty of time here. They're not going to time out, so you don't need to worry too much. They can sack the blue source to save Keeper Endurance. That's true, yeah. They can turn Woodland into an island. That's true, too. Brutal Vexing Bauble. We were in such good shape. Oh yeah, Otawara also. Well played. I'm gonna concede. They have plenty of time to combo. Well, top 8's still pretty good. Shout out to Basim. Would be kind of surprised if Nadu was legal by next week. GG's well played. I was so excited to see. I saw that subtlety. I'm like, ah, I'm good. And then Vexing Bauble got us pretty good. That's it for me today, though. I'm gonna read the Happy Hob, who haven't really been able to catch up with too much lately. He's trying to level 1 beat the DLC, which seems pretty